Welcome back. A lot changed this semester. For one thing, concerts were back. A tornado warning got our semester started, and we all had to evacuate into B6, which is kind of symbolic of the adventure that our semester would be. This frat house was designed by Paul Rudolph and has since been demolished. The site of it served as a site for our first project this semester, and so we all met at the site one day early in the semester to analyze it. After getting supplies from J&M, we all built this site using cardboard or chipboard so that way we could cut into it to place our building designs for the site. We went through the process of doing a small scale model of the site. We went up one scale with a rough model, did a digital model before doing a final physical model. We all had a lot of individual freedom with our designs, and you can see that in the different projects. We got to have all our final reviews in person, which was a nice change from doing things online last year because of COVID. In between Project 1 and 2, we did a precedent study where we drafted some famous buildings and considered their spatial qualities, and then I took a trip to New York before we all met together at the airport to go to Chicago. Are you lonesome? Are you lonesome? 'Cause In addition to just getting to see the architecture and urban fabric of this city, we also had our second project based at a site in Chicago. We took turns presenting the history of different buildings around Chicago as we did sort of a self-guided architecture tour of the city. There was also a lot of time to go do your own thing during the mornings or afternoons, so we went to different restaurants and took lots of pictures of each other. Oh, this place, it just doesn't seem the same. One day we went to see some of Frank Lloyd Wright's work. So this one is a church of his. We also went to see his home and studio and took a tour through the building. Are you lonesome? Are you lonesome? 'Cause I'm all on my own. I tell you something you may not know. One stop we made was to Crown Hall, which is the architecture school at IIT in Chicago. Mies van der Rohe designed it with a very open layout. We took a train for the south side to go see U Chicago and some of the collegiate architecture there. And then we also made a brief stop at Frank Lloyd Wright's Roby House. The colors all seem to fade to gray. On the very last day of the trip, we did the real homework of going to Chicago, which was going to Printers Row, which is a historic area in downtown, and studying this site, just understanding what's around it, and imagining that building right there is not there, that 2-story brick building, and that would become the site for our 7-story high-rise. So we flew back to Auburn and looked at some of the work the home team had researched for us, and then got to work designing our buildings.
Come back, oh, to their original shades. Carry me, you know my weakness. I can't keep them alone. You lost something to believe in, but we're still breathing. And carry me, you know my weakness. I can't keep them alone.
Of course, studio wasn't the only thing that we had going on this semester. We had Freedom by Design meetings going on, where we're designing a pretty interesting, green, eco-friendly farm in South Alabama. Additionally, we had the return of dog days. So on Wednesdays or Fridays, we would grill out, and everyone in architecture could just come and hang out in between studio. And then we had pumpkin carve, which Michelle and Sophie did a really good job putting together. And it looked beautiful, both at night and during the day. Those pallets there were totally full of pumpkin carvings that looked awesome. Basics became a big part of our experience in architecture school, unfortunately. Everything from Mary English's class, where we learned about environmental controls, to history class, and then we had student presentations, and then guest lectures. For material and methods class, we all bought cinder blocks, and then it was our job to design walls and joinery methods. After we had designed and built our own walls using cinder blocks, then we took turns trying to give building plans to other teams to design our walls, so we could learn about how drawing sets can be very confusing and complicated for contractors. And then the semester was over and we all went home. I think second year is definitely 100 times better than first year, because first year is just so intense for almost no reason. Second year, you have a lot of room to explore your creative vision of what you want to do or explore in architecture, and your education, it really becomes your own, and what you want to get out of it is up to you, including going to see things in real life. So I got to go to the Guggenheim Museum with Paxton, which was super awesome and fun, and we should do it again sometime. And that's the end of the video. Bye everyone, have a great day.